Bruno Fernandes out of the Palace tie. He's really doubtful, though the manager has gone ahead to give us some hope that he might be playing on Monday. Welcome to the United Matters channel. How are you guys and where you're watching us from? I go by the names of Rock and David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're only watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. I'm sorry I've late for some minutes, but all in all it's gonna come to pass. 16 minutes late. I'm sorry my mates, but I tell you what, we are gonna obviously have a very huge say onto this YouTube channel. I know you guys are really hugely waiting for this. You know, these live interactions are really very good for me because I really happen to really get your questions and answer them accordingly. Not so, and I really love interacting with you because the more I interact with you, the more I obviously get new ideas, and sometimes it's always important to see to it that we have a talk, a one-on-one discussion together. So let's see close to 300 likes matching this video, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. And Rock and David is my name, and hope you guys are really having fun wherever you are. And this is the channel that brings you your latest news and information as far as all this is really concerned. So let's obviously keep it around and see to it that a lot of things really goes our way. And I tell you what, we are gonna really enjoy, because in the due course of enjoying, you people will find themselves into the mix. Now we are having Bruno Fernandes, Anton Martial, Johnny Evans, Scott McTominay in the mix, Marcus Rashford a little bit. We are going to throw him a little bit and talk about him onto this channel. Now the Muslims, you've been in the mosque, you are back. Welcome back from the mosque. How was your Juma Karim? The Christians, we cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ, and continue to subscribe because we want to hit the magic number of 17,200 subscribers, right? Let's obviously continue to go into the lower right bottom corner, smash the black button that has the word subscribe, to smashing the notification bell. That will enable you get notified every time I upload a video onto this channel. Now, as we come in today, Bruno Fernandes has been named Manchester United's player for the month of April. The article read at the United website, Manchester United is number 8, scored an impressive 7 strikes in just 6 games for Erik ten Hag's side, and also registered a few 2 assists, proving his weight in gold when it comes to goal contributions. Fending off stiff competition from Harry Maguire and Alejandro Garnacho, Fernandes stepped up when needed during the vital stage of our campaign, having now appeared 45 times so far this season. Our very own Portuguese Magnificio is more than worthy of accolade as voted by you, the fans. Bruno's first goal in April came against Chelsea. Remember that header, as his headed effort restored parity in the back and forth encounter, and eventually it finished 4-3. And United went ahead to lose. Just days later, this wonderful long-range effort against Liverpool helped the Reds record a 2-2 draw with the Merseyside on the soil in the Premier League. Then he went ahead to obviously score a brace against Bournemouth. You remember that? And it would have gone ahead to be a hat-trick, that is it. Though on the Vitality Stadium, that really never went on to pass. Against Coventry City, he went ahead to obviously shoot, and he went ahead to score, and he had 2 more goals rounded off an impressive appearances in April when he was once again instrumental in the 2-0 victory against Sheffield United, and went ahead to create a goal for Rasmus Højlund. And Bruno Fernandes has gone ahead to obviously do the needful. So Erik ten Hag said that Bruno Fernandes is in a very good form. I think when we put him in the right position, he finds the right spots. When he's in the position, he makes the right decisions. He can create a lot, score a goal, make assists and key actions. So we are happy with his performance. He shows his leadership, but also with his energy in his transition both ways. It's very important. He tries to encourage the team. He's doing very, very well. Pleased with his performance and with his attitude. Scooping a 72% in there for you. And then he was followed by Maguire coming second, and Garnacho was third into the mix. And when you look at the players of the month since the season started, August it was Bruno Fernandes, September it was Casemiro, October it was Scott McTominay, November Alejandro Garnacho, December Alejandro Garnacho, then January Kobbie Mainoo, February Rasmus Højlund, and March it has been Andre Onana, and Bruno Fernandes has gone ahead to be named the player for the month of April. And then after, we wait to see how things will pan out for the set of players as they get into the month of May. Our first game in the month of May is going to be playing against Crystal Palace, a very tough side. Crystal Palace is a very tough side, and it comes in through with a very, 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 very bad story that has gone ahead to be confirmed to us by Erik ten Hag. He said the following on Thursday: Rashi, I think he's a big doubt for Monday at this moment. I do not expect him back. Hopefully we can make the turn, but that is also the same for Bruno Fernandes. I regret also to say, but he's also a big doubt. He's still fighting for the game. So Bruno Fernandes had what we call like a fracture dislocation in his hand when you're playing against Coventry City, you know. And if you hear that, you have to come out and ask yourself, who should be the players obviously coming through and replace Bruno Fernandes if at all he's not going to make it into the team of Man United that's going to be playing against Crystal Palace on Monday. Though he hasn't going to have to be ruled out 100%, but the manager believes that he can obviously make a very huge turnaround and really show up. So for Bruno Fernandes, Bogues, you cannot come out and rule him out 100% because he can really surprise you. But that is a huge question on who can obviously come in through. Let me even pose the question into the live chat and tell me, and I ask you, who can come in through to obviously replace, who can replace Bruno in the Palace tie? Mount, Eriksen. Who else can play in that position, in that number 10 position? There is Amad Diallo can also do that role. Which other player? Talk of Maino, Kobe Mainu, right? We start the poll and I'm gonna be waiting for your reactions in the comment section below. Now, out of all those players I'm gonna hit to put out, I see the only player that can come in to replace Bruno Fernandes is Mason Mount, because he's at number 10. Though at Chelsea, his most successful performances came in through when he was played as a right winger. But at this juncture at Man United, you have to understand that he can do the number 10 role, and maybe he can offer us with something different. But however much we are discussing that, he's not only the only player that can play into that role. You can find Eriksen, he can do that role. You can find Kobe Mainu, he can do that role because he was a number 10 before he was played into. By the way, he was a striker, then he was turned into a number 10, right? And then Ten Hag is playing him as a number 8 or number 6 in our team of Man United. So apart from those, you have other players like Amad Diallo. He can play as a number 10. You saw to it that in the game of Burnley, he was being played in the central attacking midfield area, and that shows you exactly how good that player is. So in my own seeing, I think Mount can take that slot. But I tell you what, I don't see Bruno Fernandes missing out onto this game of football, because we played Coventry on Sunday. On Wednesday, that's when, by the way, he got that injury with his hand. And then on Wednesday was playing Sheffield, and even went ahead to score a brace. After playing against Sheffield, he went ahead to score against he went against to play against Burnley over the weekend. And you tell me he rested for 2 days and then played against Sheffield. Then he rested for another 2 days and played against Burnley. And you expect him to come out and really not play part into the game of football of United versus Crystal Palace, where he has gone ahead to obviously rest for almost 7 days, because we last played on Saturday. You count Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 8 days. 8 days of rest, and you think he's really gonna come out and not be fit? I think he's gonna be fit to play into that game of football. But just in case he doesn't really feature up, which player do you think can play into that number 10 role very well? to replace him. Mount, Eriksson, Ahmad, and many. Remember, you're having a game of Arsenal on next weekend. That is next Sunday. And the manager will be like, should I risk Bruno Fernandes and really play him in this game? Yet we need him in the game of Arsenal. So it will depend on what the thoughts of the manager really thinks. As winning against Arsenal, there is the way it obviously comes in through and silences all the haters in the nick of time. So we wait and see how that pans out. But today, Bruno Fernandes was seen in Manchester. Sorry about that. Bruno Fernandes was seen with his right wrist in a protective medical cast. 2 weeks ago, he broke his hand against Coventry. So you see the cast. This is the cast. And I tell you what, he was traveling to obviously go ahead and really meet his partner in crime, that is David De Gea, and photos are already on the Instagram of Bruno Fernandes that I'm obviously going to come out and post on the community of this YouTube account and our other socials in there. So that is Bruno Fernandes for you. And you look at him, he's really having fun, enjoying himself. But I tell you, however much he's having this cast, I tell you what, he might obviously find himself in a position of really playing against Crystal Palace. But if I'm Erik ten Hag and I feel like he's going to find himself in a position of really hurting himself, I rest him, because I think the most important game of football we are left with is against Newcastle and Man City. So we need him in those two games to see to it that he takes us to that level, especially in the final, because of his leadership and how he's improving in the way he plays as the number 10 for the club of Man United. So for Bruno Fernandes Borges, all I wish him is a quick recovery, because he has been in elite form. 6 games, 7 goals. That shows you how a player he has gone ahead to evolve and why we need a player of his caliber at a club of Man United. And he's really one of those that will obviously come out and really give a very good go into the mix. But all in all, I would love to let you know that he's one of those that have really represented day in, day out for the club of Manchester United. So that is Bruno Fernandes for you, and I think you're going to obviously learn about his doubt. For Marcus Rashford, the manager says he's a big doubt. You understand? And sorry about that. And when you look at the team news that I've gonna hit to be put out today, at 16, almost 17 hours today, we've been told that Manchester United manager has revealed Marcus Rashford is not far away from a comeback. Have you heard? Meaning that whoever match is off, he might obviously make it to the game on Monday, because Monday is really not far off. The England international was injured in the Emirates Cup semi-final against Coventry City and missed the win over Sheffield United and draw with Burnley. Although it was thought the forward would not be involved again at Crystal Palace on Monday night, the manager told Manchester United's Mark Sullivan that there is an outside chance he could prove his fitness in time. Bruno Fernandes and Scott McTominay are also battling against the clock, while Johnny Evans will definitely return to the squad as long as he continues training without any issues over the weekend. So this is what the manager said. We have some players with question marks. Eric told club media at Carrington, Rashi, I think he's a big doubt for Monday. At this moment, I don't expect him. Hopefully, he can make the turn, but that is also the same with Bruno Fernandes. The good news is that Johnny Evans returned to the training pitch, and if the 2 days go well, he will be in the squad. I also expect Scott McTominay. He didn't train during the course of the week, but I expect him back on Carrington ground training and on the pitch on Saturday. He then has 2 training sessions going into with that. So the encounter at Selhurst Park is obviously going to be really good for the club of Man United, because for me, the return of those players, especially Evans in that central defense, really gives us an allowance of getting Casemiro to be played into the double pivot alongside Kobe Mainoo, and that gives us an allowance to see to it that we can really have a very strong midfield that we can obviously do with. And Evans, he's press resistant, and you know how he plays well from the back with the ball, and it gives you a very good chance to obviously play exactly in a way that you want. And he wins very many set pieces in in the set plays that are being brought in, the corners and the free kicks. Now imagine Harry Maguire, he scored against Coventry. It was a very good header, and then he scored, I think, against Sheffield, right? So he's also a threat into the air. Now when you add on Evans, that gives us a very good aerial presence in those set pieces, and you can obviously capitalize onto them, go ahead and obviously win all those games in a nick of time. That's what I was going to hit obviously cross my mind right now, because John Evans comes back, you get Casemiro into the central defense. And I was really very worried to really not have Casemiro in our midfield when you're playing against Crystal Palace and having him play in the central defense, because the likes of Matata, he's really a strong guy. And tomorrow I'll be coming up with the match preview of Man United versus of Manchester United versus Crystal Palace. I'm going to come in and really tell you how I expect us to obviously stand. The other player that is back is Anton Martial. Anton Martial is back. Anton Martial is back into action with the team of Man United. He has been training ever since this week started. And for me, he has Crystal Palace, Arsenal, Newcastle, and Brighton plus Man City. If he can help us to be fit for those 5 games, that will be a very good bye-bye with the fans of Man United. That's what we want him to do, because when you look at the game of Burnley, you felt like, why would United take off Rasmus Højlund and not have a striker? You get? But we are 100% sure that the manager will utilize him very well. And I tell you, in certain games, I'm expecting him to obviously start, like in the game of Newcastle, you understand? And I think Rasmus Højlund might come off the bench because he's young. He has gone ahead to play very many minutes, and looks like, when you look at the substitution that Erik ten Hag is making, looks like he wants to obviously rest this man. And that is exactly what his plans are for Rasmus Højlund, but he has not gone ahead to be given a chance to do that as a manager. So, for the side of Man United, I really feel that Anton Martial's return is really very good. And we are waiting for the update of Lisandro Martinez tomorrow on Saturday. I know late night he's going to be really giving out what we call an embiggered interview with the Man United TV about Luke Shaw, Lisandro Martinez, Marcus Rashford, Bruno Fernandes, and very many others. So, Martial is playing his last season for the club of Man United, and I think he would like to epitomize his career at Man United with a trophy and helping us qualify for the UEFA Europa League. So, he's a different kind of striker when he comes in through. Take off Rasmus Højlund, Martial comes in through, plays for some 20 minutes or 30. That will be a very big boost for the club of Man United. So, I just can't wait to see that taking shape and Martial giving us those last performances into the end of the season. Now, let's obviously end this poll and see how you people have gone ahead to vote. And you've come out and really told us that you think Mason Mount at 33% can play as a central attacking midfielder. If at all Bruno Fernandes is really having that fracture with his hand, then Kobbie Mainoo has also gone ahead to get 33 votes in there for you, tying with Mount. So you believe we can have Scott McTominay and Casemiro in the double pivot, then Mainoo ahead of them, or Scott McTominay. Sorry, all Mount. All Mount, I think Mount can't play behind. You know, Mount has to be playing ahead of Kobbie Mainoo. So 16% have gone ahead to say Eriksen, and 16% have called in for Ahmad. So 2 of you don't know whether you should play him or not. So thank you very much for watching through. It was really a short one, but I had obviously come live and really have a talk with you. But because we don't have anyone in the comment section commenting, I think we call it quits for now. And I'm gonna come up with a recording in the next 2 hours onto this channel that epitomizes our day. I think today we're gonna hit obviously put up for videos, and I want to be doing this on a daily. 4 videos 4 videos on a daily. That is it, with either 1 or 2 live videos where we should be discussing these matters with you. So guys, I love you very much. For everyone who has been part of this channel, continue to subscribe because we want to hit that magic number, and it's you to take us to that dream world. Not so? I sign out for now. See you later.